Mm.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen again. Is it my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So we are talking about the welfare facilities. So as I mentioned, the basic facilities will be availability of fresh drinking water and also sanitary facilities, canteen facilities, as well as restrooms. So these are the basic facilities we give. When we talk about the sanitary facilities, so it has to be have a separate facilities for the male and female. Okay. Okay. Fine. Then we came to end the accident reports and records. So where prescribed in the case of the factory premises, all the incidents to the construction worker should be reported to the authorities or other to the absenteeism due to accident last for more than 48 hours. All the fatal accidents should be reported to the police and family of the deceased, where the format is prescribed. It must be reported in the form only. So we have seen these forms, form 18 and 18A. Those are prescribed formats which we can report to the authorities. All records of non-reportable accidents, including near misses, should be maintained for internal use. Near misses, first aid cases, or minor injuries can be kept for the internal purposes. All the reportable incidents must be reported to the authorities. So all the actions should be thoroughly investigated by a team of concerned officers, including safety officer, and their conclusion should be used as remedial measures to prevent future accidents. A non-factory construction site should be report their accidents to the authorities prescribed. Okay. So based on the specific requirement, we have to report to the respective authorities of the all accidents. Okay. With this, we done with IS 108. I'll quickly go to the other slides. Now we can start 105. Okay. Any questions? Just a second. Oh, one second. I think initially I've just yesterday no, so I'll, yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, is there any addition related to medicine shall not be kept in first aid kits?
Come again?
Medicines related to tablets, whether tablets shall be there in first aid kits or not?
No, no, we should not keep.
Is this the latest edition, sir?
It is not of latest. It's even previously also we are not supposed to keep any medicines actually because it may chance to use. I mean, misleading or somebody will have an intention to suicide or something, etc. They tends to consume all these medicines. So we won't keep any tablets. Or sometimes they keep only the minimum quantity, a maximum of five or six. They used to
Okay.
keep. Otherwise, the medicines tablets will be with the OHC center itself.
Okay,
We
sir.
should not keep any medicine in the first aid boxes. Hardly will keep the wound cleaners and also the ointments as well as bandages. That's all. No, nothing else
Okay.
will keep. Okay.
Okay. Recently, external safety audit was conducted at our station. Auditors
Mm-hmm.
have insisted to remove the tablets from the kits.
Yeah,
Then,
that is what the reason actually
okay, sir.
because of
Okay.
because sometimes what will happen they don't know for I mean which medicine they
Mm.
use for which scenario or the problem until
Right.
unless they are not familiar with the tablet they should not
Ah,
consume.
right,
That is
right.
also one reason, and the misleading of or misusing of the medication, that is also one reason.
बट सर पीएनजीआरबी के हिसाब से ही हमारा ईआरडीएमपी बनता है। ईआरडीएमपी में फर्स्ट एड किट का लिखा रहता है, क्या क्या रहना उसमें। वी आर
Hmm.
मेंटेनिंग टू दैट ईआरडीएमपी।
But I mean, in that, do you have any medicines list, tablets?
हाँ, यस यस, लिस्ट इज देयर, टैबलेट्स आर आल्सो
Maybe
मेंशन related to
Dolo.
crocin, sir, not any other thing. Crocin mainly, fever purpose.
Yes, that is for the favorite purpose. Maximum we will keep. Cinemas Dolo will keep, or
हाँ,
Cetirizine we used to keep.
yes sir, हाँ,
Those kind of basic medicine or generic medicines we can keep.
right, हाँ.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, video is not audible, sir.
No, I have not yet shared. I'm just responding to Srinivas.
Okay, sir. Sir, is it mandatory to maintain snake bite antidote at uh, plants?
That is also not. I mean, what do you call?
Mandatory, na?
Authorized, not
Hmm.
authorized. To be frank,
Okay.
even in my experience, I also fought for that to have an antidote because where I worked in a project site, there is a
Hmm.
huge jungle which is behind the site area. We used to come across with snakes on every alternate days, but still we
Hmm.
have to approach only the government center which is nearby.
Right, sir. क्योंकि मेंटेन करने से भी फायदा नहीं है। If we don't know how
Ah,
to give
yeah, yeah, but we should not
the
give the shots also. So we should
हाँ,
get only the shot from the government hospital.
government hospital, right, sir? Okay, sir. Thank you, boss.
Okay, thank you. Kindly explain the summary in short. Okay, so Amit, I mean, in sort of demolition, so basically, uh, simple that, I mean, if you ask me about summary, so there we should, before starting the demolition, so you should understand the complete structure of the building, and you have to understand what are the load bearing members, and the existing structure is capable to hold the load which is already there. If it is not able to hold, you have to minimize the load on the structure systematically, so that it will be easy for us to do a demolition. Otherwise, what will happen if you are starting demolition? in between itself there might be a chance of collapse. Then other thing, you have to look for all the connections or utility connections, the facility connections which are linked to that facility, and you have to properly isolate it. Then in case of any material which is stored, or sometimes what will happen in some of the industry building, underneath the building in underground, you will have the chemical tankers or containers, or the in the slums you will have there you store some sort of chemicals. So you have to look for such sort of any chemicals which are in place. Okay, then you have to create
Sir,
a procedure. Sorry.
sir,
Yes, Ramakrishna.
recently explosion happened in Hyderabad, and how is it happened, sir? I don't know.
To be frank, even I didn't got time to read the article. I got that report. One of my colleague has shared that, but I didn't read actually. Maybe I can go through that next week, Ramakrishna, if you don't mind.
Okay, okay.
Okay, yeah. Class is not audible. Paul, can you please rejoin again? I think others are able to hear me. నాకు టైం దొరకలేదు. రిపోర్ట్ అయితే వచ్చింది కానీ బట్ టైం దొరకలేదు చదవడానికి. ఓకే. Okay, then we'll have a detailed procedure in place. So how we are going to do, whether it is the manual or whether you're using any mechanical equipments or whether you're doing the explosives. So then accordingly you have to uh, provide a barrication, and also make sure that all the trained people are assigned to that activity. Then if you're using any explosive materials or any swinging ball, etc., you have to alert the nearby vicinity people or the public which are in and around the building or the facility or the structure, so that we can protect the public, because they are not familiar what is happening inside. So that is our responsibility to make them aware that okay, there is a demolition is happening. So we have to block the roads, and also we should avoid unnecessary or unauthorized people entry as well. If there are any adjacent buildings which are connected to this building, we have to disconnect their foundations or adjacent walls, etc. Then we have to give proper supports to those structures. Then you can do the demolition. Okay. Yes. Okay, fine. Then let us enter into IS 105. So this is the last topic. So we almost end of the syllabus. This is the final paper. We have already completed 7 papers. This is the 8th paper. So this is the manufacture, storage, and import of hazardous chemicals rules 1989. If I'm not wrong, these rules came into the picture after the Bhopal accident. The government has brought these rules, and in short, we also call it as MSIHC rules. MSIHC rules 1989. Okay. So it is also come under Environmental Protection Act 1986. Okay. So basically, I have to explain this before entering into the uh, topic. So maybe you would have gotten it out, sir. Here we have so many sections, so many rules, so many numbers. So how the examination, the question will come. So basically, in the examinations, so you will be asked to write. I think, I think better. I'll show you. Uh, Suresh, I can share the report. Just a second. It is in my WhatsApp. Even I have not even open actually. I don't know how I can share here. I think here it is not possible. I can't share actually the chart. Just a second. Just a second. I'm again resharing my screen. Okay, this is how a sample paper. I think I have not have the latest one. It is in 2022. So how the questions are asked. So if you see here, uh, if you talk about Factories Act, they're asking for only for the objectives. Why the Factories Act? What is the purpose? What is the use of it? Here it is. They are not asking for any sections. They are not asking for any specific section or specific chapter. Okay. Then what are the salient features of Boiler Act? Explain the regulation and employment conditions of Service Act. Then short note on Environmental Protection Act, Noise Pollution Act, and explain about Chemical Accident Rules 1986. Basically, what we have to do is we have to understand the concept, the purpose of the specific rules or act, then the key takeaways. So when I ask about the 10 marks, at least you should be able to write a minimum 12 to 15 bullet points or 20 bullet points so that you get the maximum score. Okay. In the short answers, they're asking for what are the restriction working hours under the Factors Act. Scope of public liability insurance. Is the ESIC compulsory for all employees? I think most of them are working. Question number 5. ESIC is compulsory for all employees?
आई थिंक नो सर, जिसका सैलरी कम है बिलो 20,000, गवर्नमेंट जो मिनिमम वेजेस है उसको ही
हाँ,
अप्लाई।
21,000
राइट सर।
and below. Only for those people it is applicable. Or who is having more than 21,000, for them health insurance is mandatory. Okay, you got all the 3 marks. Can the hazardous waste be recycled? Can we
यस
recycle hazardous
यस
waste?
यस, वेस्ट ऑयल इज द hazardous waste ना सर?
Yes, there you can write yes. What are the some of the examples? And how do you dispose biomedical waste? Here
थ्रू
also
येलो क्लोरिनेटेड बैग्स एंड
yes, and
दिस
yeah,
GPS coordination system,
yeah,
barcode.
barcode system. We can say that we'll send it to the authorized recyclers. So we can say segregation process in addition to the main answer. Okay. So this is how the question paper will be asked. Okay. Now the context is clear. We can jump into the topic. Yeah. So hazardous waste management rules 1989. So this is fall under Environmental Protection Act itself. When we say act, which is authorized or authenticated in the parliament, when we say rules, which are majorly forms at the local assemblies. State to state, the rules will be differ, but the acts are common throughout India. So here sometimes they may ask us to chance to have what is mean by hazardous chemical. There might be a chance of asking definitions. So as per this MSIHC rules, So any chemical which is satisfies any of the criteria laid down in part 1 of schedule 1, listed in column 2 of part 2 of this schedule, I mean schedule 1 itself, I mean 2, part 2 of the schedule 1, then any chemical listed in column 2 of schedule 2, or any chemical listed in column 2 of schedule 3. It means the list of chemicals which are mentioned in schedule 2 and schedule 3 in column number 2, and also in schedule 1 in column 2. So these all fall under hazardous chemicals. So you can mention in such a way that a list of chemicals which are covered under schedule 1, schedule 2 and schedule 3 in column number 2 all fall under hazardous chemicals. You can write one or two examples. Okay. So we also see the export and exporter. So when we talk about export, which is nothing but the grammatical variations or the cognate expression means taking out of India. When you talk about export, it is not from state to state. That is interstate transportation. When you talk about export, you are taking out the chemical. You are exporting out of India, out of Indian boundaries. Then we call it as export. When we talk about the exporter, the person under the jurisdiction of the exporting country or includes the exporting country who exports the hazardous chemicals. The person who is or the company who is doing the exporting activity, they'll be comes under exporter. Then import, so you are bringing into India from the place outside. Okay. Then importer, who is importing, it means occupier or any person who imports the chemicals. Okay, most of in our cases occupier will be the importer. Okay, just a second. Yeah, then industrial activity. So this is also need to understand when we talk about industrial activity, an operation or process carried out in an industrial installation referred in Schedule 4 involving or likely to involve one or more hazardous chemicals and includes on-site storage or on-site transport which is associated with the operation or process. In the case may be isolated storage or pipeline. It is simple that the activities which are happening in the site. Okay. One second, guys. Okay. Then major accident. So this definition also important. I could see in some of the papers they have asked about this definition as well. When we talk about major accident, it means an incident involving loss of life inside or outside the installation, or 10 or more injuries inside or one or more injuries outside, or release of toxic chemicals, or explosion or fire or spillage of hazardous chemicals resulting in on-site or off-site emergencies, or damage to equipment leading to stoppage of process or adherence effects to the environment, adverse effects to the environment. That is called major accident. Maybe for the first time you'll get confused. It is nothing but the people got injured 10 or more inside or outside. Okay, loss of life inside or outside, or 10 or more people injured inside or outside, or one person is more outside, or release of toxic chemicals or explosions on site or off site. All these cases are comes under major accident. Okay, so again, MAH installation, it is nothing but an isolated storage or an industrial activity at a site handling, including transport through carrier or pipelines or hazardous chemicals, or equal to or excess to the threshold quantities specified in column 3 or schedule 2 and 3 respectively. It means when I talk about MAH installations, either it is only a storage facility or you are doing a process. It will be called as MAH installation. So when we talk about threshold quantities,
सर just a minute.
yeah.
सर मेजर एक्सीडेंट पॉइंट में लास्ट एडवर्स इफेक्ट्स टू द एनवायरनमेंट लिखा ना सर.
Mm-hmm.
व्हाट इम्पैक्ट इट मींस एडवर्स इफेक्ट्स मतलब.
When we talk about adverse effects, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, these are the adverse effects. When we talk about environment, what? It is
राइट
nothing
सर.
but atmosphere.
Right, so clear.
Yeah.
But coming to the air pollution, what impact it shall have to state that it has a major accident has occurred? जैसे suppose, for example, एक explosion हो गया, तो it
Hmm.
may have some adverse effects on the environment.
Yeah.
Up to what level?
I mean, you're talking about the concentration, up to what
Right,
concentration?
right, sir. In terms of concentration or impact.
Okay. So if you ask me like that, so you have a weather monitoring system from central
हाँ,
government, right?
ambient air
They
monitoring system
ambient,
होता है sir, but not
ambient air
continuous.
quality.
Not
Whenever
continuous, 3 month quarterly.
when we talk about this concentration, where the people will feel suffocate, or the people are affected, or the people are exposing, it is giving on any health effect, those quantities also will be considered adverse.
Okay. मतलब
It is not
let
about
it be the working people inside the plant or outside, whoever it might
outside
be.
of plant. Apart from normal atmosphere conditions,
Hmm.
whatever it changes the air quality, which is impacting the people's life and health and
Hmm.
well-being of them, it will be
Okay.
considered as an impact.
Right, sir. Okay.
Yeah, because there we can't define a standard parameter. Maybe 2 ppm also, somebody, it will be in a severe impact. For example, if you take one family itself, you will have kids, you have middle-aged people, you have old-aged people. Maybe small quantities, the oldest people will affect. If the increase of further concentration, teenage will affect. If it is more, then engaged people will affect. So it deviates or it damages the existing quality of the air, then it can leads to the impact of the people, then we can consider as an impact on the environment.
Right, sir. Right. Okay.
Okay, so when talk about threshold quantities, this is very important. So threshold quantity, so in the schedules, we are having the threshold quantities as well, and it say what is the maximum quantity an organization can keep. Okay, this is the threshold quantity. So according to the threshold quantity, if you're keeping more than that or keeping the same, also will be fall under major accident hazard installations or MAH installations. Okay. Then we'll have What is mean by site? Means by any location where the hazardous chemicals are manufactured or processed, stored,
Sir,
handled, used.
sir, one more
Sorry.
question, sir.
Yeah.
You explained about MAH, na? So
Yeah.
is it that any chemical plant or compressor station like ours shall be declared by the government as MAH, or based on the statement itself, it can be deemed to accepted as MAH?
No. So there are schedules actually.
Ah,
So that is what I'm mentioning. In
okay.
schedule 1, column 2, in schedule 2, column 2, in schedule 3, column 2. There
Ah,
you have the quantities as well. I'll show you the schedules.
right,
So,
sir. Natural gas is mentioned in the schedules.
yeah, and the
But what I
quantity.
mean to say,
Uh,
one of our compressor station located at Sholapur, it was declared as MAH. And our
okay.
Pune station was not declared by government as MAH. But uh, it's not
What
that
is
our
the?
station is MAH,
Uh-huh.
but is it that that shall be declared by the government, like statutory authorities?
Yes, 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 yes. They will declare. Depends on the quantity which you are storing or which you are keeping or which you are supplying. Even
Huh.
that's where they mention. It is not about only storage. Whether you are processing, either
Yeah,
you are
transporting.
handling, either
Huh.
you are transporting through the
Right.
vehicles or through the pipeline. That's why they clearly mention. Whatever it means,
Huh.
if the quantities are reaching or which is beyond above the threshold quantities, you will definitely fall under MH installation.
Okay. Whatever which was mentioned in this table, right, sir?
Yes,
Okay.
these tables.
Okay.
One second. These are the, I mean, almost 600 list of chemicals are there. These are the chemicals, and here we have schedule 2. Yeah, these are the chemicals with the quantities. Okay, all these quantities are in tons. Okay, it is in a freely available resource, so you can simply search in Google MSIC rules 1989. You will get this PDF. Okay. Okay, great. So bromine maximum of 50 ton. Okay, you can refer these rules. Again, I'm coming back to the previous point where we are. Yeah. Okay. Then threshold quantities, which are nothing but the quantities which they are mentioned in the schedules, column number 2 and 3. Then duties of authorities is also important. So the concerned authority, the inspect the industrial activity at least once in a calendar year, and expect where the such authority is the Ministry of Environment and Forest annual report of complaints for the rules by the occupier to be to the Ministry of Environment and Forest through the appropriate channels. As we know, the legal audit used to happen or third party audit once in a year. So that is the requirement which came from this MHIC rules or statutory audit or mandatory third party audit. Okay. Then general responsibilities of occupier or the drug industrial activity during the industrial activity. These are the roles and responsibilities of the owner of the facility. Okay. So I think we can discuss this next class tomorrow. So I'm stopping here because we have only 30 seconds. As I mentioned, tomorrow morning we don't have class, hence I am traveling. I'll be reached by 11:30 or 10. So we'll have class in the evening, as usual, 7:30 to 8:30, then 8:30 to 9:15. Okay.